My former best friend tried to sabotage my dream job and destroy my reputation, but karma had other plans. I never thought I'd be writing a post like this, but here I am, still reeling from the events of the past few months. I need to get this off my chest, and I'm hoping for some outside perspective, because honestly, I'm not sure if I handled everything correctly, even though it all worked out in the end. This is a long one, so bear with me. Let's call my former best friend Veronica. We had been inseparable since kindergarten. We went through elementary, middle, and high school together, sharing secrets, dreams, and countless late-night talks. We even decided to go to the same university, both aiming for careers in marketing. Our bond felt unbreakable. Or so I thought. After graduation, we both landed entry-level positions at different companies in the same city. Mine was a small, up-and-coming tech startup. Hers was a more established, traditional advertising agency. We'd still meet up regularly, celebrating our small victories and commiserating over our work frustrations. Everything seemed normal, even perfect. A little over a year ago, my company announced a massive expansion project. They were creating a brand new division focused on innovative digital marketing strategies, and they were looking for a director to lead it. This was my dream job. It combined everything I was passionate about: creativity, technology, and leadership. I knew it would be a huge leap, but I felt ready. I had been working tirelessly, taking extra courses, and volunteering for every relevant project that came my way. I remember telling Veronica about it during one of our Sunday brunches. I was practically buzzing with excitement, detailing my plans, how I was going to tailor my resume, and what I envisioned for the new division. She listened intently, nodding and offering encouraging words. "That's amazing. My name. You absolutely deserve it. You've worked so hard," she said, raising her mimosa. I felt a surge of warmth. This was my best friend, my biggest cheerleader. I spent weeks meticulously preparing my application. I revised my resume countless times, wrote a compelling cover letter, and practiced my interview skills until I felt confident. I poured my heart and soul into every aspect of the process. I went through multiple rounds of interviews, each one more challenging than the last. The competition was fierce, with candidates from all over the country vying for the position. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, I received the call. I got the job. I was ecstatic. I remember screaming into the phone after hanging up, jumping around my apartment, and then immediately calling my parents. They were thrilled. The next call, of course, was to Veronica. I got it. I practically yelled into the phone, tears of joy welling up in my eyes. There was a brief pause on the other end. "Oh, wow. That's fantastic. My name. Congratulations." Her voice sounded a little strained, but I attributed it to surprise and perhaps a touch of envy, which I thought was a natural human reaction. I dismissed it quickly. We planned a celebratory dinner for the following weekend. I was still floating on air, full of plans and ideas for my new role. Veronica arrived with a beautifully wrapped gift, a personalized planner, which I thought was incredibly thoughtful. We had a lovely evening, or so I believed. She seemed genuinely happy for me, asking about the team, the challenges, and my vision. The first few weeks in my new role were a whirlwind. I was working long hours, learning the ropes, and building my team. It was everything I had hoped for and more. I was thriving, feeling fulfilled and challenged in the best possible way. I still made time for Veronica, though our meetups became less frequent due to my demanding schedule. She seemed understanding, always telling me to focus on my new job. Then, things started to get weird. I began noticing subtle oddities, minor technical glitches that would mysteriously erase important files from my cloud storage, emails from my team that would end up in my spam folder, causing delays in projects. Nothing major enough to raise immediate alarm bells, but enough to be an irritating inconvenience. I attributed it to the usual chaos of a new role and a rapidly expanding company. One day, I received an anonymous email from a throwaway account. The subject line was "Concerned Colleague." The email itself was vague but unsettling. It mentioned discrepancies in my past performance at my previous company and hinted at unprofessional behavior. It also suggested that I might not be truly qualified for my new leadership role. I was confused and a little angry. I had an impeccable record at my previous job. I dismissed it as a disgruntled former colleague or perhaps even a rival from the interview process trying to stir up trouble. I deleted the email and tried to forget about it. A few days later, my direct report, a bright and ambitious young man named Ethan, approached me. He looked uncomfortable. "Hey, my name," he began. "I just wanted to let you know. I've been getting some strange messages on LinkedIn." He showed me his phone. The messages were from an anonymous profile, similar to the email I had received. They were questioning my leadership style, alleging that I was micromanaging and taking credit for others' work. Ethan assured me he didn't believe them, but he felt he should inform me. My stomach dropped. This was no longer just a technical glitch. This was a targeted campaign. Someone was actively trying to undermine me. But who? And why? I immediately reported it to Human Resources. They took it seriously, launching an internal investigation. They advised me to keep an eye out for any further incidents and to report them immediately. The whole situation made me incredibly paranoid. I started looking at everyone with suspicion, wondering who among my new colleagues could possibly harbor such ill will. The incidents escalated. Fabricated complaints about my supposed temper and lack of professionalism started circulating among other departments. My reputation, which I had worked so hard to build, felt like it was crumbling around me. I was spending more time defending myself than actually doing my job. The stress was immense. I was losing sleep, constantly on edge, and my enthusiasm for my dream job was slowly being eroded. One afternoon, I was having lunch with a senior manager, Sarah, who had been a mentor to me. She looked at me with concern. "Are you okay? My name?" she asked. "You seem distracted, and I've heard some things." I sighed, tears pricking my eyes. "Sarah, someone is trying to ruin me. I don't know who it is or why, but it's getting worse." Sarah, a shrewd and experienced professional, listened intently. "Tell me everything," she said. I recounted all the incidents, the mysterious file deletions, the spam emails, the anonymous messages to Ethan, and the fabricated complaints. As I spoke, a thought, cold and sharp, pierced through my anxiety. Veronica. It seemed impossible. My best friend. But the timing, the specific knowledge of my previous work, the insidious nature of the attacks, it started to fit. Sarah's eyes narrowed as I finished. "This sounds like a very deliberate campaign. My name. Do you have any idea who might be behind it?" I hesitated, then swallowed hard. I have a terrible thought, but it can't be true. I told her about Veronica, about our long friendship, her seemingly genuine happiness for my promotion, and then the slight hardness in her voice when I told her I got the job. Sarah didn't dismiss it. Instead, she said, "Sometimes, the people closest to us can surprise us the most." What was her reaction like when you told her about the job? Was she also considered for similar roles elsewhere? I explained the initial congratulations, and then how I brushed off a slightly odd tone. I also mentioned that Veronica had been applying for director-level positions at her own company and other agencies, but hadn't landed anything yet. Sarah mused. "That's certainly a possibility. Envy can be a powerful motivator. Let's see if we can find any digital breadcrumbs." Our company's IT department, already involved in the HR investigation, was highly skilled. They started a deeper dive, looking for IP addresses, digital footprints, and any anomalies related to the incidents I reported. A week later, the IT director, Mark, called me into his office, along with Sarah and the HR manager. Mark looked grim. "We've found something. My name," he said, pushing a tablet across the table. On the screen was a detailed report. It traced the origin of the anonymous emails and messages, the attempts to access my cloud storage, and even the source of some of the fabricated complaints. The IP address linked to most of these activities pointed directly to Veronica's apartment. My world tilted. It was true. My best friend, the person I had trusted implicitly, had been systematically trying to destroy my career. The betrayal was a physical blow. I felt a cold knot form in my stomach, a mix of disbelief, anger, and profound sadness. We also found evidence, Mark continued, that some of the complaints were made from burner phones and anonymous social media accounts that were linked to Veronica's personal device history, and even some public Wi-Fi networks near her workplace and home. The meticulous detail of the report was damning. The HR manager spoke up. This is a clear case of professional sabotage and cyberstalking. It's a serious breach of ethical conduct, and frankly, it's illegal. We can take legal action against her. I just stared at the report, trying to process it all. My mind flashed back to all our years of friendship, all the shared moments, the laughter, the support. Was it all a lie? Was she always secretly resentful? What do you want to do? My name? Sarah asked gently. We will support you no matter what. I took a deep breath. Revenge, while tempting, wasn't what I truly wanted. What I wanted was to protect my career, clear my name, and understand why. But more than that, I wanted to ensure this wouldn't happen to anyone else. I don't want to press charges, I said, surprising even myself. Not yet, anyway. But I want her to know that I know, and I want her to face consequences for what she's done. The HR manager looked skeptical. Are you sure? This is a serious offense. I understand, I replied. But I think exposing her, letting her employers know, and ensuring she can't do this to anyone else is a more effective form of justice right now. I want her career to be impacted, yes, but I don't want her in jail. Not for this. They agreed to my terms. My company's legal department drafted a formal letter, outlining all the evidence they had compiled against Veronica. It detailed the sabotage attempts, the online harassment, and the damage to my professional reputation. The letter stated that while my company was choosing not to press criminal charges at that time, they reserved the right to do so if any further incidents occurred. It also contained a clear warning against any future contact or attempts to interfere with my professional life. The letter was sent to Veronica's company's Human Resources Department, along with a copy to Veronica herself, via certified mail and email. The fallout was immediate and spectacular, and I received a frantic, tearful call from Veronica a few days later. How could you? My name. How could you do this to me? She sobbed. Her audacity stunned me. How could I do this to you? I retorted, my voice shaking with a mixture of anger and hurt. How could you try to destroy my career, Veronica, after everything? She tried to deny it at first, spewing excuses about misunderstandings and someone else using her Wi-Fi. But I cut her off. Don't bother, Veronica. My company has undeniable proof. IP addresses, digital footprints, everything. There's no denying it. The phone went silent for a long moment, except for her ragged breathing. I was just so angry, she finally admitted, her voice barely a whisper. You always got everything. The good grades, the attention, the promotions. I worked just as hard, but it was always you. I just snapped when you got that job. I felt like I deserved it more. Her confession, while painful, offered a twisted kind of closure. It confirmed my worst fears but also validated my suspicions. The envy was deeper and more insidious than I could have ever imagined. You don't just snap and try to ruin someone's life, Veronica, I said, my voice cold. What you did was calculated, malicious, and a profound betrayal of our friendship. I hope you understand the consequences of your actions. I hung up before she could respond. That was the last time I spoke to her. Within a week, I heard through the grapevine that Veronica had been fired from her job. Her company had launched its own internal investigation based on the evidence my company provided. They found that she had not only engaged in unethical behavior targeting me, but had also misused company resources and time to carry out her campaign of sabotage. The termination was swift and public within our professional circles. The relief I felt was immense. It wasn't about winning in a petty sense, but about reclaiming my professional integrity and ensuring that someone who had actively tried to harm another person's career faced accountability. The whispers and rumors at my company dissipated almost overnight. My colleagues, particularly Ethan, were incredibly supportive and apologetic for any initial doubts they might have harbored. My career at the new division flourished. I was able to fully focus on my work, free from the constant anxiety and need to defend myself. The incidents had, in a strange way, made me stronger and more resilient. I learned a valuable lesson about trust, professional boundaries, and the darker side of ambition. It's been 6 months since then. Veronica has completely disappeared from my life. Her social media profiles are gone, and she seems to have left the city. I sometimes wonder what she's doing, but honestly, I don't dwell on it. The wound of betrayal is still there, a faint scar on my memories of our long friendship, but it no longer hurts. I sometimes replay the events in my mind, wondering if I should have pressed criminal charges. Would that have been more just? Or was allowing her professional reputation to be tarnished and her career to be derailed enough? I chose the latter because I truly believed it would be a more impactful and lasting lesson for her, without completely destroying her life. It was a choice rooted in my desire for justice, not pure retribution. I still grapple with the why. How could someone I considered my sister do something so devastating? It's a question that may never have a satisfactory answer. But what I do know is that I survived it. I rebuilt my reputation, I thrived in my dream job, and I learned to be more discerning about who I let into my inner circle. So, Reddit, I'm laying it all out. Was my approach fair? Was I too lenient? Or did I do the right thing by letting her professional consequences be the main form of justice? I'm open to all perspectives. I know it's a dramatic story, but every single word is true. It truly felt like something out of a movie, and I'm still trying to process the magnitude of the betrayal. I'm thankful for my company's support and for the clear evidence that ultimately saved my career. It's a harsh reminder that even the closest friendships can sometimes harbor hidden resentments, and that when pursuing your dreams, you have to be prepared for unexpected challenges, even from those you least suspect.